Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Effective today, I am 6 weeks away from competing in my first ever triathlon. It's an Ironman half triathlon, 70.3 distance. It'll be on September 23rd, 2018 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm excited. I'm in a weird mental place where I feel kind of ready. Like if it were tomorrow, I'd be ready to get it over with. I feel like I could do it and I'd be ready to get it over with. I guess in terms of my training distances and stuff, I'm effectively training at the distances that the race is going to be. And yeah, I still have 6 weeks to go. So this week started off really well and then ended not so well. So I talked to you guys last Sunday. I had just competed in that race, that bike tour that ended surprisingly. And on Monday was my rest day, and I found that the only thing that was sore after a weekend of strenuous exercise were my wrists, like wrists and forearms and hands. I think probably from the death grip I accidentally had on the bike during the ride. During the ride, I didn't really notice it. I felt comfortable, although I did kind of feel some tension in my neck. This is something I still, like, even throughout this week, tried to focus on, and it's kind of difficult for me when I'm cycling, whether it's outdoor or on a stationary bike. I find I carry a lot of tension in my neck. I find myself just kind of trying to, like, loosen it out and move and things, but I'm actively working on, and maybe because I'm aware of, like, tension in my arms and hands and neck when I cycle. Anyway, Monday my wrists and forearms were super tight. Like I couldn't push a door. Like I couldn't do this motion. So I went to a massage place, not the place where I'd gotten the sports massage previously, but just a place really near my house that does like Chinese massage and reflexology and stuff. I had been there once before and it was excellent. Unfortunately, I called them like that morning and I was like, do you have any availability for today? They were like, yeah, come on. So I went after work and I told the lady to focus on my forearms, and she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. She spent maybe 20 or 30 minutes of an hour-long massage on my forearms, and it was wonderful. Like by the next day, I felt fine and good and ready to go. So, so that was nice. Monday was a nice rest day. Tuesday, I had my training ride with my coach, and actually one of my coworkers joined us. Her name is Jessica, and she and I work closely together because the position I have now is a position that she had previously. So she moved on to a different role, but she trained me in my current role, and I was her backfill, and we still work very closely together all the time. So, and she's the reason I kind of wanted to do a triathlon in the first place. So long before even my weight loss surgery thoughts, I had talked to her about how, well, she does CrossFit currently and she's really into fitness and stuff, but she's not like, intimidating and that she's like super buff or anything. Like she's just fit. She's in good shape. She's a mom. She's a little pudgy. Like she just looks like a normal person, you know? And she has a little girl who's maybe 2 or 3 years old. Apparently, the year before she got pregnant for her daughter, she did an Ironman full triathlon in Lake Placid, New York, which I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the Lake Placid course was the very first Ironman event ever, so it's like it has a lot of historical significance too. But anyway, so that one is twice the distance of what I'm doing. So it's 2.4-mile swim, I guess 112-mile bike ride, and then a full marathon run at the end. And when she told me she did that, I was like, you did what? Like, it just like blew my mind. And that day I was like, I want to do a triathlon one day. Are there shorter ones? She was like, yeah, there's half distances. And I was like, okay, I'll do a half. And I just kind of had that in the back of my mind. And then, you know, when I started losing weight, I kind of set for myself a goal of losing 100 pounds. And kind of from the beginning, I had in the back of my mind that like once I lost 100 pounds, I would start training for this triathlon. So fast forward, I had my weight loss surgery in October of 2016. In December of 2017, so like 14 months later, I reached my goal of 100 pounds down. And that's when I started actually researching which half triathlons existed. And I found this one in Atlantic City to be in September. So like 9 months away at that point. Pretty near here, flat course, so like good for beginners, all these things like lined up perfectly. So anyway, Jessica is the reason I ever got it into my mind that triathlons were a cool thing to do in the first place. she decided, I had been talking about how great this group training ride was that my coach Jackie does every Tuesday, and she was like, maybe one day I'll join you, because it's open to all employees who work where I work, and different people kind of come and go every week. And she's like, yeah, I'll pull out my bike, I'll get it tuned up, and I'll come join you. So she rode with us on Tuesday, and she has like the full gear. Here I am still in just like a t-shirt and shorts. She has like the official gear, her like Ironman shorts, and like all the stuff. She looked very professional. And she joined us for our training ride. And I think because the previous Saturday, the race or the tour had been kind of a traumatic experience for me, it was really good to have just like a nice, easy training ride. We did like 13 or 14 miles in about an hour. It was a really flat course. For the most part, I think it was a really good, steady pace. And we had a couple of other beginners with us as well. So for once, I wasn't the newest person there, and it felt really good. And in fact, when I saw Jackie that day, it was the first time I'd seen her since the race on Saturday. The first thing she said to me was, "You must be so proud of yourself. You did so great on Saturday." And here I was thinking, like I had told you guys, that I was going to show up kind of like my tail between my legs and just kind of like, oh, here I am. But she was like so proud of me, and she was like telling everybody in the group how well I did in the race. And I don't know, it's incredible how like other people's words really have that kind of power over you, or at least over me. Maybe it's not like that for everybody, but for me, it is really encouraging for someone who knows about the sport and who knows my history and who knows how I'm progressing to think that I'm doing a good job. So anyway, the group training ride was a lot of fun, and I was really glad that Jessica came with us, and hopefully she'll be joining us in the future. Wednesday was good, and then Thursday, just this morning, I was talking to Zanita at Perforce. Did I like make the correlation of like what happened on Thursday through today, Sunday, like this kind of negative spiral? On Thursday, there were massive layoffs at my company. Like 12,000 people were impacted. I work in a team of 10. Only one other person in my team is actually in New Jersey. Everybody else is all over the country, including my boss. He sits in Virginia. And anyway, they're all over the place. But of my team of 10, 3 got laid off. And one of those was the guy that is in New Jersey also. Like, we sit together every day. We talk all day, every day. And I don't know. It was just really surprising. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody really knew that was going to happen. And heartbreaking, He's a good guy. He works really hard. He just bought a house. His kids are changing school. His wife has a new job, et cetera, et cetera. I know that layoffs are kind of a normal part of the corporate world. And I've been with this company for over 9 years, and I've seen it happen many, many times, but never has it hit so close to home. And the other 2 people on my team, I work with them closely also, just, I don't see them every day, and then other people from other teams that I also work closely with, like our organizational group got hit really hard, I think. And it was just really somber in the office. He went home at lunch that day. We worked from home on Friday. I mean, he has 30 days, and so I think for the next month, he's effectively going to be just like looking for new jobs, basically. And we had a team meeting, and our boss basically told all of us, it's not a bad idea for everybody to start looking for new jobs, because our team, may or may not exist in the way that it exists now by the end of 2019. So, excuse me. So we have some time, and it's just speculation. And things might change, etc. But he is very supportive of us looking for other things at this point. So I spent most of Friday looking for a new job also, which is sad for me because I love the job I have. I love it so much. It's the perfect job. If I could keep this job until I retired, until I died, I'd be happy. Obviously, I know in a practical sense, in the world of like data and technology, things change all the time, and that's never going to be the case. But, also just the idea of like starting a new job, maybe even with a different company, maybe moving, is exciting and not really sad, because you guys know I don't necessarily love New Jersey. I'm not opposed to leaving, but it's a lot of low level stress, I guess. And I hadn't really correlated all of that until today. But as of Thursday, my eating went like really haywire, and not bad necessarily. Well, yes, bad, but a lot of snacky foods. And I have a lot of bariatric friendly, keto friendly snacks all over the house. And usually they're not very tempting and they just kind of sit there. And some things I've had for like a year or more, and I have them like organized into like sweet treats and savory treats, and they're all just kind of there. I went hard on the snacks, you guys, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Today, not as much, but and so because my eating was really off, I'm sure my calories were high, I'm sure my carbs were too high. I stopped tracking, and I had been tracking, and I don't know, I just feel kind of out of control with my eating, and that doesn't normally happen. It's an unusual thing for me. I feel like I haven't stress eaten in a very long time, and I kind of didn't even realize that was happening. So, yeah, my eating was just off, so my energy levels were really low, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I did all my training, but I just kind of feel like I was phoning it in. My heart wasn't really in it, and, on the one hand, I guess physically it's good to just get it done, but, just not really in a good mental space, I guess. I mean, not bad. I'm not like, depressed or anything. It's just, I guess distracted is maybe the right word for it. So I guess now that I'm fully aware of that, my plan moving forward, and I know I don't talk too much about like food and eating as part of my triathlon training because I kind of had that in the bag. Like I hadn't really ever had to think about it too much. I have been doing keto for so long. It's easy for me to eat intuitively, kind of. I was in a really good phase, but right now I'm just like so out of whack. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. So I think for this coming week, I'm actually going to like plan my meals out in advance, which I hadn't done in a very long time. I'm going to like put them in my fitness pal, make sure I only eat the things that I've planned to eat. And in a sense, that for me is kind of getting back to basics. I'm not going to like super calorically restrict or anything. I'm just going to go back to what I was doing before, but like have a plan of it instead of just like eating whatever I feel like, because right now I'm eating everything. So I think that really kind of negatively impacted my training is my point. I did everything. My times are about the same. Honestly, my running, in fact, last night I had one of the fastest runs I've had in a long time. I did 5.5 miles in like 57 minutes. So yeah, and my swimming today, I did the longest swim I've ever done, and even with a couple like short breaks, I did the full distance that I would do for the triathlon in like 45 minutes, which I think is pretty good. Anyway, my times and everything, like physically, I'm fine. I just, my heart isn't in it and my mind has been a little elsewhere. But, we carry on. We can't go on like this forever. I don't know what Monday's going to be like. I'm sure Monday's going to be weird because we go back to the office and we have to do our normal jobs. But my coworker is going to be looking for other things also. So I will try to just keep my eating in check. And I know that always improves my mood and helps me see things more clearly and feel more energized. So that is the goal for the coming week. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will talk to you soon.